I accidentally caused a war between my family and my brother's wife's family with one innocent text message. My brother got married last Saturday. I wasn't there. That part was planned. What wasn't planned was my parents texting me mid-reception asking where I was. Here's the thing. My brother's wife has deeply religious parents. When my brother told them I'd be bringing my boyfriend, they said no. Not a discussion, just no. My brother called me, apologized, said it was easier this way. I wasn't even upset. I dealt with this before. I told him it was fine. Stay home, enjoy it from a distance. What I didn't know was that he never told our parents I wasn't coming. So there I am on my couch watching a movie when my mom texts, "We can't find you anywhere. Where are you sitting?" I figured my brother had just forgotten to mention it. I texted back the truth, all of it. Why I wasn't invited, why I stayed home, no filter. My mom read it, didn't reply. Apparently she walked straight to my brother at the reception. Then my dad got involved. Then my aunts. Then it split down the middle. Our family on one side, his wife's family on the other. The wedding party turned into a full confrontation. I found out when my brother showed up at my door 2 hours later, still in his suit, shaking. Let me back up, because none of this makes sense without knowing what my family is actually like. We grew up in a quiet household. My parents weren't the type to take sides publicly. My dad's idea of handling conflict is leaving the room. My mom's version is changing the subject. They're not cold people. They just don't do confrontation. So when I came out as bisexual a few years ago, it went exactly how you'd expect. Quiet acknowledgement. No big fight, no tearful hug, just a slow, careful adjustment. Like they were rearranging furniture in their heads and didn't want to make noise doing it. My brother knew that, which is probably why he thought he could manage this quietly. He called me 6 weeks before the wedding, explained carefully. His fiance's parents were old school religious, the kind where even having me in the room as an openly gay man would have caused a scene before the vows. She wasn't like them, he said. He wasn't either. But the wedding was in their church, funded partly by her family, and there were too many moving pieces to risk a blow up on the day. He asked if I understood. I told him honestly, yeah, I did. It stung a little. Not because I was surprised, but because no matter how many times it happens, there's still that small moment where you feel it. That quiet reminder that your existence is the variable people calculate around. I told him I understood, that I'd stay home, and that we'd celebrate together after. What I assumed, what any reasonable person would assume, was that he'd told our parents, that he'd handled that part, that my absence had been quietly explained the same way it always was. He hadn't said a word to them. Our parents walked into that wedding with no idea I wasn't going to be there. They spent the whole ceremony thinking I was somewhere in the crowd. It wasn't until the reception that my mom started looking. That's when she texted me. I read it and assumed miscommunication. I wasn't going to lie. That felt worse. So I typed out exactly what happened. My brother asked me not to come. His wife's parents weren't comfortable with me being there with my boyfriend. I understood. No hard feelings. I was at home. Hit send. She read it immediately. The read receipt appeared right away. Then nothing. No reply. No follow-up. Just silence. I put my phone down. My boyfriend fell asleep on the couch next to me. It was a genuinely nice night. Quiet. Easy. I had no idea what was happening 30 minutes away. Here's what I pieced together after. My mom pulled my brother aside quietly. Said she'd found out I wasn't invited and wanted to understand why. He explained. She listened. Then she went and found my dad. My dad is the man who leaves the room. He has never in my memory raised his voice over anything related to my personal life. Not once. He walked over to the table where her parents were sitting and said something. My cousin said it wasn't even loud. But whatever he said landed wrong, and her father responded, and then it wasn't quiet anymore. Her mother got involved. Then my aunt, who has never stood up for me once, literally stood up from her chair. It went from there. My brother spent the next hour trying to contain it. His new wife was crying before the cake was cut. The two families had split to opposite ends of the room. People who'd been laughing an hour earlier were sitting in loaded silence. The reception ended before 10. I heard the knock and opened the door, and my brother was still in his full suit, tie loose, hollowed out completely. He said, "Why did you tell them?" I didn't have a good answer, because I hadn't thought I was doing anything wrong.